A boo bap boo bap boo.
Hello people of the web and welcome back to Dragon's Lair. The plans for this episode have changed, several times in fact. If you had the pleasure of watching the last episode, you'll know that we built a log cabin. And underneath the log cabin I've built my log store and the start of a bamboo farm. Now my intention, smooth-ish, my intention was to work on the bamboo farm so it was fully automated. Oh. Curse me for trying to do videos without armor on because this makes me a little bit squishy. And I should be more aware of that when going downstairs at high velocity. Whoopsie. At least it's an easy fix and I probably shouldn't lose anything. Ow, even that was painful. I'm supposed to... Oh, even that little glide hurt quite a lot. Right. Ignore that death. Bamboo farm. We built it up last time, and the idea is to have a flying machine go through, chop down all the bamboo, and then it be collected by hopper minecarts. So I thought I'd get started with the hopper minecarts first, which turned out to be a bit of a problem. My supply of redstone blocks was limited, so it took me a while to do it. I now have several clerics to fix that problem, and it was built. It even works. Press this button, sends them all off, would collect the bamboo, it comes back, and would deposit in this chest. So with that bit done, the next thing was the flying machine. I dug out the hole, went to storage to get some slime, and realised that I had 2 slime balls. 2 slime balls does not a flying machine make. With this being a solo-ish world, I can't just rely on other people to build the farms for me. So rather than making a bamboo farm, which was my plan, I need to pivot to making a slime farm. Slime farms are not difficult. People have been making them for many years, and there's many different ways of doing it. One of the options would be to look up on something like chunk base to find out where a slime chunk is and build a chunk based farm there. But I don't want to use chunk base. I'm choosing to play this world blind. My own choice, but it makes things more difficult. Another way of finding slime chunks is just digging out areas underground and seeing where the slime spawn. But I can't be bothered to do that, and as well as that, I want my world to be visible. The benefit of having a world for many years is that I can have lots of things that people will see as I'm flying past. If I build a slime farm and it's underground, it's not very interesting, no one will see it. Where's the splendor? I want to make it visible. And I'd have to do it around this bit, which is more difficult to locate where, and I don't know where I can show it off, because I haven't built buildings yet. Alternatively, I could use like an oozing potion to make a slime farm like that. However, if I'm building a slime farm that uses oozing, I can build it anywhere. So it would make sense to build around here, except I don't have the buildings yet, and I don't know the layout, so it has to kind of wait until I do some other buildings first that I already have planned to figure out how it fits around those. And then it occurred to me I could maybe use a trial chamber. So we spent basically an entire stream looking for a trial chamber. We found one, I raided it, and not one single spawner produced slime. See? Zombie spawner. See? Also zombie spawner. Including children. And, oh, there's another one around there. And there's multiple rooms. Loads of spawners. Not one that produces slime. Not a single one. Which is rather annoying. Whoop! Oh no, I fell! I'm gonna die! Actually, this shouldn't be too bad. Woo! Ah! Babies! I hate... Ooh. There's a thing in there I haven't done. Nice! Ooh, bread. And... baked potatoes! Totally worth the trip. I forgot there was a vault in here. I need to do this one. Note to self, bring key next time. There were a number of reasons why I liked the idea of doing one with a trial spawner. It's not the most efficient, but it's different, and I could play with it, and it would give me an excuse to travel around the world and load up spawners so that I can get slime. And Then it occurred to me, why don't I build one in a swamp? I've never built one in a swamp. I don't know how people would do it. So I was playing with it on stream and I have some ideas. I'll show you what we did in creative. Bear in mind this is a rough sketch, okay? So I built a chamber in the swamp and I made it spawnable for slimes and nothing else. The way I did that was we wrapped it in tinted glass and I've put weathered copper bulbs in, occasionally lit, so that the light level is 7 here and it only ever goes down to, I think, 1, which means that no other mobs can spawn, but slimes can. But then we had various different steps of realization of, oh, that's a problem. This actually worked quite well. However, when I built it square originally, like this, anything spawning in the corners were too far away to aggro on the iron golem, which is a problem. So I figured we'd cut off the corners. So I cut the corners off. We sat in the area above, so there's a little tinted glass in the sky. It's about the right distance. And I found out that it's still too big, so I had to make the octagon smaller. See that one there? Not interested. He's too far away. And that's because we're on this outside edge. However, if he were to be dragged, or even if he just got pushed a little bit this way, inside of that octagon, he's then within range, sees him, jumps towards him, falls down, and dies. Very simple way of killing them, but it seems to work. I've never done a farm like this before, and I've enjoyed playing with it. But what I'm going to have to do is now make this proper and design it. We're not going to use copper bulbs on every tile. I will use copper bulbs on these tiles that are lit, and everything else can be changed out. I also need to do it the right shape. So after playing around in one creative world and making sure that it works, making use of the swamp biome, I can now design it in a creative world that doesn't have it as a swamp, and then just decorate it. Which brings us to the creative server. There's various projects around here, but I've just made a new space over here so I can start on the slime farm. I've actually done this within chunk boundaries so that effectively I can turn these chunks into slime chunks later. Sorry, swamp chunks later if I wish. Annoyingly, of course, chunks are 16 by 16 and this is an odd number build, but ignore that, that's fine. It doesn't matter, it just looks a bit weird. And it offends me slightly. So I've got the basic bit in here. What I need to do is build the octagon around it and design it. This is a creative stream waiting to happen. In fact, I'll be doing this shortly. I'll see you after that stream where you can see the progress on the design.
A boo bap boo bap boo.
And we're back with some good news. That's right, I had a successful creative stream and we've got a building. And that building is fully decorated and ready to be built in survival. The only problem is that I've decided to use some materials that I don't have much of. I need about 4 stacks of copper, which I don't have, and I need a load of tinted glass. In fact, just over 1,000 tinted glass. Literally just over 1,000. 1,001. I don't have glass, I don't have amethyst, I don't even have a geode located. So, yeah, resource gathering time. You'll see the results in like 2 seconds. I've got to spend time gathering stuff, ready for my stream in, about 36 hours from now. Dragon's Lair isn't a solo world. It's solo-ish. I wanted a forever world that I could take care of and be the master of its destiny, but also have friends join me. I have a long list of people that I'm hoping to accompany me on the journey. I've already been graced by the company of Wither and Impish. This project felt like a perfect opportunity to bring Jumpy Spider Lady on for. She's an incredibly lovable creator in her own right, although a lot of her creativity goes into art. For example, she's the brains behind the majority of my emotes. Jumpy joined me to build this on stream, and we had a lot of fun hanging out, chat loved her, and we got the build done. you may notice we're not using the correctly aged copper. I ran out of time trying to pre-age it, so it's been placed at whatever stage it is and will mature in situ whilst the farm runs. Well, hopefully it runs. The build is done. I've been AFK up here whilst editing the last couple of clips, which means now I'm going to go down and have a look at what we've achieved. Let's throw the stuff on, break through this little window and head down. As you can see, it's working. It's not perfect. I have a few alterations to do, but let's go have a look at what we've gained so far. This is obviously a temporary solution on how to get down here. I'll do something more permanent later. Thank you very much. Considering before I built this, I had 2 slime balls. I would call that an increase. Significant increase. I've used all of my copper doing this. So, if you wouldn't mind. Nope, just ahead. Let's talk about the issues. Issue number 1 is that while I was at the AFK spot, I had loads of mobs spawning over here, which means the rates were suboptimal. The reason for that is because the AFK spot is too low down. I guessed how high it was supposed to be. It actually needs to be up about 20 blocks from where it currently is, and then the spawning radius will be just the farm. However, it doesn't hurt to put some torches down here, because if I'm in the area and not up there, we're not spawning anything down here, which is good. Makes it safer for me, and it means we get more slime. Next, let's talk about the copper. It's not the right level of oxidization, but it is getting there. Now, this top row of copper was pretty much all like this when we placed it about 2 hours ago, and it's already looking pretty darn good. It won't be long before it's finished oxidizing. The final thing is you may notice there are 6 bulbs with redstone torches. You see, this design is using light levels to make sure that we get slime spawning, but nothing else. Slimes want a light level of 7 or lower to spawn. However, if you get down to 0, other mobs can spawn. Which is why these bulbs are not oxidized. They're actually weathered and then waxed to keep them in that state. And that means that the light level throughout the platform is low enough that slime spawn, but not so low that anything else spawns. So these bulbs, if I didn't have the redstone torches on top of them, would cause this block to be light level 0, and same over here. And then we could have other mobs spawning, which we don't want, and the whole thing could go kablooey. So, redstone torches until I get 6 more honeycomb, which should be easy, especially now I've just picked up another bee nest. I only came up here to do a little bit of editing, and I started looking down. I've just been fascinated watching slime spawn, slimes jump in. I get slime balls. It's very satisfying seeing your work for you. Whenever I do a project, my shulkers come in very handy for just collecting all of the random junk. And then it sits here, and I put it away slowly as I'm having a cup of tea. I have a lot of dirt. Whilst clearing the swamp, this is how much oak we got. The other stuff came from storage. The oak, just clearing the swamp. One long AFK session later, and it is all fully oxidized. That's right, the project is finished. I even cleared away the dirt. Ignore the fact that he spawned there. Don't worry about it. It's fine. There. Project done. Looks good. I'm really happy with it. It's working. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.